So for the art direction, you want to start thinking about what kind of props and what kind of costumes you're going to need for your film set. What I like to do is to sit down with the script, grab a highlighter, and I just read through it and I highlight all the props that are going to be there. A table, a chair, a jacket, all the little things, and I just make a list of all these little things. From here, whether you're doing it yourself or you're working with someone, you think about how can I actually source these items. Sometimes you can go to an op shop, you can go online, you can go on Gumtree, whatever it is. How do I get these props and how do I implement them into the film? This can be overlooked a lot, but the props are going to make a big difference into creating this world that you're trying to share. Locations is half the work. If you can find the right location where your film is going to be set, it's going to be very, very easy to go in and already have the look and feel that you're looking for. If you're building a set, it's going to be a little bit tougher, it's going to be a bit more work, but it is possible. Finding a studio and really setting it up. So understanding what your location is going to be super important. Or even going to your location if you're working with a client and you already know where you're going to be shooting. Going to the location, doing the recce is going to be super key to understanding what the lighting is like there, what the environment is like, what the sound is like. Just being there and immersing yourself in the location before you go out and film is going to help a lot. So yeah, location is super, super important. And also understanding if you're shooting in multiple locations, how much time is that going to take to move between locations? A lot of the time, especially new filmmakers, you'll be encouraged to film in one location. That's so you can set up and you can actually spend a lot more time in that one spot and not worry about packing up, packing down and moving to the next one. If you need to, you need to, I get it. But yeah, location is going to be super important for you to understand. So there's a lot to think about when it comes to location. Once you've got it, you got to think about 1, parking, 2, sound, 3, also is it far? How are people going to get there? What is the travel time to get to that location? Those are a few things depending on what you want to do. But for example, we've worked with restaurants before. We wanted to film in a restaurant. That's great. That restaurant owner was really awesome to work with. He was willing to do it for free as well. So that's always a plus. If you can find a friend or family member that can help you get a location for free, that will save you a lot of money. But the problem with that was we couldn't film while there were customers in the shop. Therefore, we filmed overnight. So we got there around 10 p.m. and we shot till 7 a.m. in the morning. That is a very difficult thing to do when you hit 4 a.m. and everyone's tired and hungry. So some things to consider: when you can use the location, who's going to be there, and also what the timing is like as well. So just a few things, a bit of food for thought when you're thinking about where you're going to be shooting. All right, now we want to talk about film equipment. A lot of people will tell you that your film equipment isn't everything, and it really isn't. At the end of the day, it is about your storytelling ability and what you want to say. But understanding equipment, your camera, your lenses, your lighting is really going to help you elevate your story, but also elevate the image quality. So if that's what you're looking for, that's what we're going to talk about. Understanding what camera is best. It can be a phone, it can be a Sony camera, it can be ARRI Alexa, whatever it is. I think just knowing why you want to use this camera. Are you really trying to produce something that is super high level when it comes to production, and you want to share this at a music video festival or whatnot? Or are you trying to do something for Instagram, or are you doing something for cinema? Really knowing where your film is going is going to help you work backwards as well in deciding what kind of camera you want to use. Your lenses is going to be key in terms of the way that it's going to look, whether it's a wider lens or a shorter lens. Yeah, really thinking about what kind of lenses do I want to use? What kind of lenses do I need? Where do I get my equipment? Whether you go out and buy your own camera or you go out and hire a camera, it's really up to you. It's really up to personal preference. There's no right or wrong, but I think deciding what kind of camera you need first, and if you're going to invest in a camera, are you going to use this for the long term? And is this a camera that I really want? Also, you can think about rental houses as well, really looking at different cameras and different lenses depending on your budget. I really want to shoot with the Blackmagic, or I really want to shoot with the Red, or I really want to shoot at the Canon. But this all comes down to why. Why do you want to use this camera? And is this tied to your vision? Once you get your equipment sorted, you got to think about everyone else in the crew as well and what kind of equipment do they need. Does the sound recorders need extra sound gear? Do we need extra microphones on the day? Do we need extra lights? It really helps to just sit down and write a list about all of the gear that you need. So it might be your camera, it might be your lenses, it might be your lights, you might need a gimbal, You might need a tripod, your sound, some duct tape, some gaffer tape, all the little pieces that you feel like you might need on the day. Yeah, this list can honestly be never ending, but really nail down like, all right, what are the key pieces of equipment that I'm gonna need and what are we gonna actually use to create this film? All right, now we're gonna talk about the fun stuff, paperwork. You wanna think about all of the documents that you need to do to make this a successful film shoot. This is gonna change depending on the scale of your project, so it can be different for everyone, but these are some of the key pieces of documents that we like to think about before going into a big production. Your call sheets. Your call sheet's gonna have everything that anyone needs to know about the film set. So a call sheet can be, you know, when is the shoot, the location, what the parking is going to look like, what the weather is going to look like on the day, the equipment that you need, important phone numbers that you're going to need for the day, the producer's number, the closest hospital, the crew members, all their phone numbers, all their emails, all the actors, the cast and crew. What time is everyone going to be there? The call time is probably one of the most important things about the call sheet. What time do I need to be there? Don't be late. Try and get there half an hour early before each shoot. If you can, trust me, it'll make a big difference. Your equipment, what equipment's going to be there on the day, and any safety hazards that you might need to think about as well. So call sheet is going to be key for a smooth set, and also everyone just knowing like what's going on, you know. Some agreements, so having production agreements between yourself and the crew members, so everybody's on the same page in terms of what we're expecting from everyone. The cast members, some talent consent forms, making sure everyone's okay with being on camera. You don't want to do a full day filming with some actors and find out in post-production that they don't want to be on camera anymore. Save yourself that trouble and get the talent consent forms signed. Location agreements, if you're hiring a location or you're working with someone, making sure that agreement is on paper, that you're okay to film there and you're okay to showcase this location anywhere you want. And contracts, just having contracts with either your client or yourself. At the end of the day, contracts are there to just protect you. You want to make sure that you either own the rights or you're just protected overall in terms of this creation. This is your baby, this is your project. So really nutting out like what it is you want from this project, where it's going to go, why you're doing it, and just having some terms and conditions for yourself. You don't have to do this at the end of the day, but it really is there to protect yourself just in case anything might go wrong. You don't want to lose your film, and you just want a smooth process for this. Understanding your agreements, your contracts, all that paperwork. It is a bit of a tedious job. You can hire someone to do this as well if you have the luxury of that in your budget. But taking some time to really think about your paperwork, getting these forms signed is going to save you a lot of trouble in the long run. And that is your pre-production. So hopefully by now you've already done your timelines, you got your cast and crew ready, the art direction is sorted, you know what you need on set, you know what kind of equipment that you're gonna need on set to make this happen, and all your production paperwork is signed and ready to go. You are now ready to go out on set and film this thing. Production, let's go.